hillbillies. You didn't even have shoes before the war.
Attention! Gentlemen, the war is over. It's been over for 20 years. I'm not asking you to like one another. All I'm asking is for you to march on the same foot at the same time. The show's about to start in just a few hours, and you cannot have a show without a parade. Now, a bow face. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Boys and girls, you kids here for the show?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're just setting up right now, but we'll be open for business in a few hours.
You gonna have clowns?
Yes, ma'am. We have clowns, lots of them, and trick riders and sharpshooters, and singing and dancing, and shootouts and battles with real Indians.
You got real Indians?
Sure do. Welcome to a walk through history. When the West was still the way it used to be. When the rivers all were wild and the country was still free. The Wild West shows the best you'll see. When I was a young man, I rode the Pony Express. I scouted for the cavalry and rode with all the best. I hunted on the plains and bagged a buffalo. Those were the days, I tell you, and I'm the one who knows. The Indians were fiercer and the rivers all ran deep. The cowboys rode from dawn to dawn and never had to sleep. The women then were wilder, and the heroes 10 feet tall. The villains all were meaner. I was there to see it all.
Welcome to a walk through history. When the West was still the way it used to be. When the rivers all were wild and the country was still free. The Wild West shows the best you'll see. Eastern City slickers are soft as sourdough. We got calluses in places your mama never saw. We've been riding on the range from the winter to the fall. When you've been the places we've been, then boy, you've seen it all. The men out west are macho, that Spanish talk for tough. The whiskey flows like water and the language very rough. The bears out west are hungrier, the wolves have sharper teeth. The women all are beautiful and the toughest gals you'll meet. Welcome
begins at 3 p.m. sharp. Now skedaddle.
Morning, Bill. Here's your program for this afternoon's show.
Thanks, Salisbury. I hope those Indians don't get into a poker game again before the show. They always get so depressed when they lose at poker that they end up losing the reenactment of General Custer's last stand. And then General Custer doesn't know what to do. Should he fall down, or should he just stand there?
Colonel Cody?
That's me.
I know you anywhere. You're Buffalo Bill Cody, famous scout and hunter.
That's correct, my dear. And what may I do for you young people?
Well, I'm Frank Butler, sir. And this is my wife, Mrs. Butler.
A pleasure to meet you.
My wife is the best sharpshooter in all of Ohio. I dare say she's the best in the world. Show 'em, darling.
Let's see. How about I shoot that fat old crow right out of that tree over there?
Over where? Oh, you mean way over there? You can't shoot that far, girl. I'm a darn good shooter myself, and I can barely see that far.
Show 'em, darling.
Well, I'll be. I've never seen any man, nor anybody shoot like that. What's your name, girl?
Phoebe Mosey.
I can see it now. Phoebe Mosey, lady sharpshooter. No. Phoebe Mosey, greatest riflewoman in the West. No. Phoebe Mosey. Phoebe? Mosey?
Well, I sometimes use my mother's maiden name, Oakley. Ma's a widow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He weren't no good, no how.
I see. Well, let's see how that sounds. Phoebe Oakley. Phoebe, you got a middle name, girl?
Sure do. Phoebe Ann.
Phoebe Ann. I've got it. Annie Oakley, greatest sharpshooter ever born.
That's a lot to live up to.
Salisbury, get this lady some bullets. Have Salisbury throw up one of these cards and see if you can put 10 shots in it before it hits the ground. Oh, try not to shoot Salisbury.
Oh, no, sir. I won't, sir.
Tell me, Mr. Butler, if your wife joins up with the Wild West show, well, aren't you gonna miss her?
I'm going with her, Colonel Cody. Annie's manager. Wherever she goes,
Where you go? Don't you have a profession, Mr. Butler?
call me Frank. I used to be a sharpshooter myself, until one day I got into a shooting contest with Annie. She won fair and square. So I asked her to marry me, and we've been on the same road together ever since. She shoots. I manage.
Well, I'll be. I've never met a man willing to stand in his wife's shadow.
Well, I see it like this, Colonel Cody. There's some women who just can't help but stand out in the crowd. And there's others who are just natural competitors. You can't help but love them. Something look like a goddess here on earth. There's others players walking on the dirt. They've got one thing in common. For a gal you're shopping, it's a gal with guts that's really got some worth. Take 100 girls and stand them all in line. There's one that's gonna stand out every time. She's loud and kinda rash. You can tell she's got panache. Well, you gotta love a girl who ain't afraid to shine.
A girl may have a funny looking smile and have a heart that's bigger than a country mile. If you like a girl who's fun and will keep you on the ground,
introduce you to the other performers, Frank.
Thank you, Colonel Cody.
Friends call me Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. We will entertain you and amaze you and show you historically accurate reenactments of famous battles between the hostile Indian tribes and our valiant soldiers. You'll meet the famous Chief Sitting Bull, Calamity Jane, toughest gal in the West, and the best sharpshooters and fancy horseback riders, culminating in a grandiose reenactment of General Custer's last stand. General Custer, of course, won't be here in person. We will begin our show with a demonstration from the famous Mexican rope twirling champion, Mr. Vincenzo Oropesa. Next we have Marshal Wild Bill Hickok. Dirty Dan Walker from Dodge City has challenged Wild Bill to a shootout at 3 p.m. exactly. Will he show up?
Well, Dirty Dan, you picked a good day to die.
We walkers don't die easily, Marshal.
Go get him, Bill.
I've tracked you all the way from Wyoming, and you won't be doing any more robbing or killing after today. Dan Walker, you can say your goodbyes.
We'll see about that.
That was a close one, Marshal.
Nah, I've outdrawn faster gunmen than Dirty Dan before.
Anyone in the audience wish to challenge Wild Bill?
No! Didn't think so.
And now, may I present the lovely Chastity Winslow and her ravishing bevy of beauties, the Silver City Sweethearts.
Let's show them how we dance out west, girls.
Take me back to California where the river's done with gold. There's a boy that I've been missing and longing for to hold. He's the sweetest boy I ever knew, a tall and handsome lad. And he promised we would marry on the day that I got back.
the Neighbors Against Gross Savagery, wish to lodge our dissatisfaction with your show.
I could discount your ticket price. 50% off, Monday through Friday. Not including the Thursday matinee.
We don't want a discount, Colonel Cody. What we want is for you to discontinue this barbaric display of vulgar activities. Women in pants, naked Indians, a chorus of roll-ups. How can we allow this to continue?
Half price on Sunday's early show?
What Miss Bromley means, Colonel Cody, is that we feel that this show has a negative influence on our young people.
Were you ever a dancer, Miss?
Johnson, Cora Johnson. I did teach social dancing at Miss Merriweather's School for Young Ladies. Just one semester, the regular teacher had bursitis.
I do believe you would be a natural as a professional dancer. I saw the way you approached, your delicate step, the melodic sway of your arms.
Colonel Cody, do you or do you not plan on our request that you evacuate our township?
Well, if you insist.
Malcolm! Malcolm O'Leary! Fancy meeting you again after all these years.
You know this woman?
Miss Winslow. Miss Winslow and I met many years ago.
In Charleston.
Yes, I believe it was Charleston.
Why, Malcolm, you know it was.
Yes, Charleston. Many years ago.
And you haven't changed a bit. How's your wife? Marjorie, I believe?
Oh, Marjorie. Unfortunately, Marjorie passed away about 20 years ago. My daughter Elizabeth was still an infant at the time.
Oh, you have a daughter. Isn't that wonderful?
I believe the subject was whether or not this talk display should take place in our town.
Yes, well, maybe if they just moved in a few miles outside of
Malcolm
town.
O'Leary, are you saying you would allow immorality anywhere near our impressionable young people?
Maybe if you stayed and watched the show, you'd change your mind.
We may have been a bit premature. Maybe we should stay.
Yes, free tickets all around. Salisbury, get these ladies some tickets.
Sure thing, Bill.
I, for one, will never stand by and watch the barbarity. Come, ladies. Mayor?
Yes, coming. It was good seeing you again, Miss Winslow.
This show must go! This show must go! This show
Somebody's got a secret.
We all got secrets, Cody. That's why we work here instead of making an honest living.
You decided to stay and watch the show?
I believe that one should not condemn anything without knowing precisely what it is they are condemning.
I am so pleased to meet a truly open-minded individual. May I escort you to my private viewing box, where you can enjoy the show away from all the dust and noise, Miss Johnson?
Why, yes, you may, Colonel Cody. Yes, I do believe I'd like to see just exactly what kind of show you were putting on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will kindly follow me to the main arena, where we will shortly be presenting the Cowgirls of Montana, who will demonstrate their astonishing skills at trick riding and steer roping.
Hey, Calamity Jane, ain't you one of those cowgirls from Montana? Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I am. Well, get on over there before they start without you. Gotta go, Carlo. It's my turn to rope and steer. Cody says he's got us a real one this week. Last time it was a rope and an old milk cow. These Easterners don't seem to know the difference. No how.
You tell on me. My brother Alonzo and me, we from Italy, and no one noticed we're not Indian.
Well, Carlo, you don't look much like an Indian. But then again, I don't look much like a girl.
Elijah, wait!
Elizabeth, what are you doing here? Your father just left here? He was none too happy about this show coming to town. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want you being here either.
But don't you see? I had to be here. I had to see it. If you're going to join the show and become a trick rider, I have to see what it'll be like, since I can think about you while you're gone.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I know what you really want is for me to go work for your father at the bank. And maybe someday we could be married. And I could run for mayor. After your father retires, of course.
Is that what you really want to do?
Elizabeth, I don't know what I really want to do. Sometimes I get this restless feeling. Can you hear it through the trees? Its low and rumbling sound. It rustles through my window shade and blows my dreams around. The west wind's a strong wind, it never seems to rest. The west wind will pull you in and send you on a quest. Daring, swearing to carry you along. It haunts you and haunts you until the restless this wind is a gentle wind, a breeze to cool your face. The north wind is an angry wind from a cold and bitter place. The west wind's a hungry wind, it makes you wish for more. It makes you want to go to where you've never been before. Call me and throw me, I'll follow you away. I hear you, I fear you are leading me astray. The west wind moves across the land, it turns and tears and twists, and when it finally calls to you, you simply can't resist. The west wind's a high wind, it moves the clouds aside. It rings the moon in a dusty glow and takes you for a ride. Take me, awake me, I know the game you're playing. Gladly I'll break free and join you on your way. The west wind, the west wind, the west wind calls to
You should do it, Elijah. Do whatever your heart tells you to do.
My heart tells me don't do anything that'll break the heart of Elizabeth O'Leary.
If you went away with the traveling show, would you come back?
Of course I would. This is my home. I just wish I could take you with me.
I don't expect my father would approve of that. Any more than he'd approve of me going to see a real live Wild West show.
We'll sit in the back. No one will know you're here.
Come on then, let's go. Let's see if any of these fancy horsemen can ride as well as my Elijah.
That was a pretty good act you boys did yesterday. Dirty Dan, you dang near convinced me you were a goner.
Oh,
what got me a new chick. I borrowed some of Cook's hot chili and tomato barbecue sauce and held it in my right hand. And right before I hit the ground, I swatted that water sauce right on my chest and it spattered everywhere, bright red. The woman standing behind me nearly passed out when she saw it.
Cook's barbecue sauce made just about anybody pass out, but usually you gotta eat it first.
Cody, I'm telling you, if you didn't keep making me draw left-handed, I swear I could outdraw the Sylvan.
Just stick to the script, boys. Give the people what they want, yeah? A bad guy and a real hero.
Ain't no such thing as a real hero, Cody. Killing a man might make you famous out here in the East, but out West, it just makes him dead.
You hungry, Bill? Your cook's making some of his fried squirrel.
Well, it's gotta be better than his sauteed rattlesnake.
Oh.
Morning, Colonel Cody.
Morning, Annie Oakley. Tell me, were you able to get 10 shots in one card?
No, sir.
Well, keep trying, girl.
I mean, no, sir. I was able to get 12 shots in one card.
12? Well, fancy that. Miss Annie, you're officially in the show. You go on right after Calamity Jane and Oscar, the bucking mule.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. You won't be sorry.
Ricotta parmigiana, pasta fagioli. Fettuccine alfredo? Sì, magnifico.
Those are the strangest looking Indians I've ever seen.
Yes, well, there's been an extreme shortage of Indians since the Indian Wars out west, so we had to use some substitute Indians.
You mean they're not real Indians?
Not exactly, but they're not regular Americans.
And what are they?
Well, sir, these are Italians.
Italians? I've never seen an Italian before. Are Italians good with a bow and arrow?
These Italians are mighty good. They were trained by Sitting Bull himself.
Sitting Bull, the greatest Indian warrior of all time?
Yes, he's in the show. You mean you haven't met him yet?
I haven't had the pleasure, but I look forward to it.
Salisbury, take Annie over to Sitting Bull's tent and introduce her.
Certainly.
Thank you, Colonel Cody.
Chief, I was just about to come looking for you. There's a young lady here who'd very much like to meet you. Chief Sitting Bull, this is Annie Oakley and her husband, Frank Butler.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I can't believe I'm in the same show as Sitting Bull. What do you do in the show? Do you reenact scenes with Little Bighorn?
No, the chief doesn't take part in any of the reenactments. He just speaks to the audience.
Oh. Well, what do you say to them?
I say, all white men are thieves, murderers, and liars. You steal our land and murder our children. I will hate you till my dying day.
How does the audience react to that?
Oh, they love it. Of course, he doesn't say it in English. He says it in his native language, Lakota.
Oh.
We do have a translator who tells the audience what he says. Sort of.
What does the translator say that he said?
He says, I, Sitting Bull, chief of the Indian nations, bring you greetings. We welcome you to our land and hope to live in peace with the white man forever.
That's not a particularly exact translation.
Well, no, but Buffalo Bill wrote it himself. The translator doesn't exactly speak Lakota.
He's very fluent in Italian, however.
Uncle, Colonel Cody is looking for you. He says the Indian warriors need help with their war cry.
Indian warriors? Ha! There are no more Indian warriors. They all lie dead in the foothills of our land.
Annie, this is Sitting Bull's niece, Red Feather.
It's an honor to meet you and your uncle.
Thank you. It's very nice for me to meet a lady who doesn't sneer at me and call me a dirty Injun.
Who does that?
The girls in the show, the dancers, some of the clowns.
Well, next time someone says that to you, you come and tell me, and they'll have to deal with Annie Oakley, and they won't be calling you nothing after that.
Miss Oakley, would you and your husband like to come back to our teepee with us? Red Feather makes wonderful corn cakes with some maple sugar we received from the Wampanoag tribe. Much better than this awful food.
I'd love to.
Won't you come this way?
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not invited. You wouldn't make me eat this swill, would you?
Wait for me.
So do you think the nags will have took the the show again this afternoon? Not if Uncle Bill Cody has anything to say about it. If he keeps up, I think he'll talk that one lady, Cora Johnson, into joining the show. I hope not. Her legs are too skinny, and the only thing she has on her backside is a bustle. I really miss Silver City. I can't get used to all these Eastern folk. They're so... full of themselves?
Pardon me, would any of you young ladies know where I could find a Miss Winslow?
That's her tent right there. Hers and the rest of the Silver City sweethearts. So it's just her you want to see?
Yes, thank you. Miss Winslow? Miss Winslow?
Malcolm! So nice to see you again. Since I saw you yesterday, I've been thinking a lot about the old days when you and I were...
Yes, that's exactly what I came to talk to you about today.
About the old days? That's marvelous! We were so young and carefree.
Exactly, we were very young and much too carefree. You see, we're older and more responsible now. I have a thriving business.
You took over your father's bank when he died as he wanted you to?
Yes, and ran for mayor too. I've carried on the O'Leary tradition. Father would be very proud.
I'm sure he would. But as I recall, you had other dreams. Different dreams. You didn't want to be a banker back when I knew you. You wanted to travel to California and see the country in between. You wanted to make your own way.
Those were silly ideas. I was young and foolish.
You were young, but foolish? The Malcolm I knew was never foolish. He just liked to dream big dreams. We would go riding out into the west. You'd mine for silver and I'd sing for tips. We'd build a cabin right down by the sea, and would build
lived my father's dream, and it hasn't been a bad life. My wife Marjorie was a very gracious lady, and my daughter Elizabeth was the apple of my eye, which brings me to why I came to talk to you today.
Yes.
Elizabeth doesn't know of anything I did as a young man. I doubt she could imagine that there was another woman for me before her mother.
I see. You want me to reinvent the circumstances of our acquaintance?
I'm not asking her to lie. I'm just asking her to leave out the parts that Elizabeth might find disturbing.
Certainly, I'll be the soul of discretion, but I do want to meet your daughter.
I'm sure you will. I can't think of a young man or woman who could resist Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. I'd see it myself if it weren't for those busybody nags. If they knew I was here, they'd hound me out of office.
Would you like to see the show? There's a special viewing area, very private, for kings and queens and governors and such. I could get you a seat inside and no one would know you were here.
Sure, let's go. When does the matinee begin?
3 o'clock. We'd better hurry. Follow me. We'll go around the back way.
I think they're about to start. You got a ticket? Don't need ticket. I got a job here. What's your job? I'm ticket taker. You are? Well, I'm the assistant to the ticket taker. That's what Colonel Cody said I could be. Can I be the assistant to the assistant ticket taker? Sure, you're hired. Look, there they come now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the special Thursday matinee of Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. Featuring the genuine heroes of the West, reenactments of life on the prairies, and our heart-stirring, flag-waving veterans of the Civil War marching bands. Featuring boys who fought on both sides of the Mason-Dixon, now working together to honor our great nation.
Will you please stop that? As I've said 100 times, the war is over. The South lost.
Mr. Drum Major, may I remind you we are in Virginia, a southern state?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry? They did lose.
Did not.
Did too.
We'll win next time.
Will not.
Will too.
Attention! 1, 2, 3, 4.
I present our first act today, the bravest Indian chief who has ever lived, Chief Sitting Bull. Along with their squad, Sitting Bull has brought along with him the finest Indian warriors of our time. They will demonstrate their great skills with bow and arrow, tomahawk, and spear. 4 great tribes of the Southwest are represented here today. The Lakota, the Crow, the Cheyenne, and the Italiano tribe.
We all shout, throw them out. We all shout, throw them out. We all shout, throw them out. We all shout, throw them out.
Mr. Cody, we see you have denied our request to leave our town, but you're now parading heathens in front of our innocent children.
Miss Brownlee, I assure you, these ladies and gentlemen are not heathens.
Roman Catholic, see?
You probably got to have some poor idea that you scalped.
Miss Brownlee, believe me, these Indians have never scalped anyone.
But we could give it a try.
Parents of the world beware, there are dangers everywhere. We must unite to save our young from searching in the great unknown. Gone are the days of truth and light, and everyone knew wrong from right, and all the rules were black and white, and no one dared put up a fight. When men would rise at early dawn, and women stayed inside the home, respectful children were the norm. Frivolity was not condoned. We're here to raise our voices high against the new immoral tide. We'll put our fingers in the dirt and stand our ground and fight the fight. We represent the voice of truth to teach morality to you and clean our town of every sin and anyone who can't fit in. Backwards, all that is our cry. Go back before we went awry. Of modern ways we must beware. Let's backwards look, our future's there. Come, join us in the forever march backwards. We staunchly stand against our foes. Our backs are turned, our minds are closed. We represent the solid wall, and if you climb, you'll surely fall. We shall not touch our narrow spot. We know what's right and what is not. Heed our words, we plead with you to rid our town of all that's new. Backwards, all that is our cry. Go back before we went awry. Of modern ways we must beware. Let's backwards look, our future's there. Children, will you follow us back to town?
No!
I'll tell your parents.
No clowns in our town! No clowns in our town! No clowns in our town! No clowns in our town!
Well, folks, I guess there won't be a matinee today. Sorry,
Guess I should go tell Miss Winslow and the other girls.
Well, Dirty Dan, you picked a good day to die. Dan? Dan? Dan?
John's not to hear.
Where'd the audience go? Did one of you threaten to scalp them? I'm telling you, real Indians didn't go around scalping people just because they threw popcorn at you.
Audience left because they didn't want to associate with heathens.
Oh, the nags came back, did they? Well, don't take it personally, Chief. So far as I can tell, those old biddies don't like anybody.
They act as if they own this whole country, and the rest of us should just get out.
Our ancestors were born in this land. The Lakota have been here since the Great Spirit gave birth to the earth and sky.
This was the land of 1,000,000 buffalo. They roamed as far as the eye could see. Now there are no more buffalo, and the people of this land will no longer be. The white man rushed like a poisoned wind across the wide and roaring sea. And the red man rises like smoke from a fire that burns our land from sea to sea.
Are we talking about the same country? Carlo and me, we come here as nothing but a worn-out coat.
One coat for two brothers. Now we have enough money to open a fine restaurant in New York City.
This is the land of opportunity, where a man can become anything he will choose. Work hard and learn just when to roll the dice. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. My family came from far away to find a land that is wild and free. Fortunes to make and futures to build. A man can become what he wants to be.
Your world is not the world they live in. They are not welcome on their very own land. The white man takes and the red man loses. You can't explain it, you don't understand.
This was the land of 1,000,000 buffalo. They roamed as far as the eye could see. Now there are no more buffalo, and the people of this land will no longer be.
This is the land of opportunity, where a man can become anything he will choose. Work hard and learn just when to roll the dice. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
My family crashed like a poison wind across the land is wild and free. And the red man rises and futures to guide.
A man can become what he wants to
see. This was the land of 1,000,000 buffalo.
A man can become what he wants to be.
Well, if you really feel that way about it, Chief, why don't we just get on our horses and ride on out of here?
Why do you leave? Audience loves a hero.
Yeah? A hero who shoots the same bad guy every day, twice on Saturdays? No, Chief. I think I'll ride out with you.
What's this I hear about you leaving?
Red Feather and I will go home now. It is much more civilized there.
You are keeping people may take our land, but our courage and our dignity cannot be taken from us.
Well, too bad, Cody. No more Chief Sitting Bull, I guess.
Not necessarily. Alonzo, how would you like to be promoted to Indian Chief?
Does Chief make more money than Warrior?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I be Chief Raging Stallion. As Chief, my first act will be to demand more money for warriors and squaws.
More money? All right, raises for everyone.
Good move, Cody. I think you've just invented the first spaghetti western.
Cora, so nice to see you again, my dear.
I was waiting until everyone left. I'm sorry Miss Bromley and the other ladies ruined your show. I just wanted you to know that I think the Wild West show is fabulous, and I'm certain it'll be a great success. You just need to find a town that's more appreciative of your talents.
Madam, on the road to greatness, there are always a few bumps. Well, you can't get from here to there without a ride. And you can't go from up to down without a slide. If all my days were sunny, I'd never really see the sun. And that's how I know that I'm alive. You never know how tomorrow's gonna be. Might as well smile today and wait and see. One day everyone will agree with my philosophy. Someday they're gonna name a town after me.
Colonel Cody, that is a fine philosophy. You remind me of that famous Chinese philosopher who once said, what, me worry? Well, you can't get from A to Z without a cue. And you can't make a sunny sky without some blue. If you just sit around and wait, it just might be too late. Why give up before you're even through? You can't talented, so clever, so...
There you are, you know, good line visible!
Colonel Cody, are you all right? Who is this woman?
Miss Johnson, may I introduce you to my wife, Lulu?
Your wife?
Oh, so he's been sneaking around again, has he? Well, let me tell you, Missy, if you want him, you can have him. 20 years I've been married to this snake in the grass, and he's brought me nothing but trouble.
Lulu, my angel, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at home with the children?
Cody, there aren't any more children at home. They all grew up while you were off gallivanting around. I'm surprised you remember you had any children.
Children? You have children?
Oh, did I forget to mention Kit and the other children?
You forgot to mention quite a few things. How many children do you have?
All together?
You know good so-and-so. Autumn.
Lizzie Beth, what are you doing here? I thought all the children had gone home.
I stayed to watch Elijah audition for the Wild West show.
Oh, and he didn't get hired?
He did get hired, and he's leaving first thing tomorrow morning.
I see. And you're going to miss him. I once knew a boy a lot like Elijah when I was a young girl. Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes it makes you sigh. Sometimes you feel you've been left behind, and there's no one there who knows your despair. Sometimes you have to smile. He's a man, but still a child. Sometimes you wonder if he's coming back again. That's what happens when you love a man who loves a dream.
I follow him anywhere, but does he really want me there? I don't want to be the one he left behind. Should I make him stay, or would he go anyway? I never know how much to show. Should I smile as he turns to go? There's no win in this game, just gotta set him free. That's what happens when you love a man who loves a dream.
Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes it makes you sigh. Sometimes you feel you've been left behind, and there's no one there who knows your despair. Sometimes you have to smile. He's a man, but still a child. Sometimes you wonder if he's coming back again. That's what happens when you love a man who loves a dream.
Lizzie! Oh, hi, Miss Johnson.
Congratulations, Elijah. I heard you're going to be performing in the show.
Yes! I mean, maybe. I'm not exactly sure yet.
It's a big world out there, or so I hear.
I'll tell you all about it when I get back, Miss Johnson. If I go, I mean.
You do that, Elijah. I have to be going. Tell Colonel Cody I say goodbye. And that I'm thinking of becoming a dance instructor.
Goodbye, Miss Johnson. Thank you for everything.
Lizzie, I really want to be in the show. It's just, I don't know how I could ever leave you behind.
It would only be for a while. You should do it, Elijah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Tell them. Go tell Mr. Cody you'll be leaving them tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you for letting me go. And I'll be back real soon. You'll see.
Bye, Elijah.
You're Lizzie Beth O'Leary, aren't you? Malcolm O'Leary's daughter?
Yes, I am. Do I know you?
The name's Winslow. I had the pleasure of meeting your father, Malcolm. Mr. O'Leary.
Are you at the show?
Indeed I am. I'm one of the original Silver City saloon dancers. I just manage the act these days. My leg kicks aren't what they used to be. To tell you the truth, my legs aren't what they used to be. We've been needing a new girl for the show. You look like you'd be about the right size. How would you like to join the group?
Me?
Why not? Then you and your young man could be together.
But I'm not a very good singer.
Half the girls can't carry a tune in a bucket.
I can't dance either.
Are you adverse to lifting your skirt 1 or 2 inches above the knee?
I suppose I could do that.
Then you can dance.
But what would Father say?
He'll say yes. It will only be for a few months or so. Then you come right back home. I'm sure he'll be amenable to that.
No, he wouldn't. Not ever.
Let me talk to him. I can talk the birds out of the trees. Persuading your father won't even be a challenge.
Are you sure?
I am positive. Don't you worry about a thing. Go tell your young beau you'll be leaving with him tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Miss Winslow. Thank you.
Lizzie! Tarnation! Sneaking off. Oh, good evening, Miss Winslow.
Good evening, Malcolm. Such a fine evening for a stroll.
Indeed. Shall we stroll over to your tent and talk about old times?
I was just speaking with your lovely daughter.
Lizzie Beth? You've met Lizzie Beth.
Indeed I have. We had a brief but intimate discussion.
You didn't tell her about,
About our friendship so many years ago. Do you think she would be interested?
No! No, I doubt she'd be interested in anything that happened so long ago.
You're probably right. She's so interested these days in her new career.
New career?
Yes, I've decided to take Lizzie Beth under my wings and teach her how to sing and dance. Only for a few months, of course. Elijah's going to be a trick rider in the show, and Lizzie Beth is going to get to see some of the world outside of Granville, Virginia. Then in a couple months, she'll come back home, and her and Elijah can get married, as I'm sure you know is her most ardent desire.
Never! I'll never allow my daughter to dance with those girls!
You're not saying you disapprove of my profession, are you?
No. You're nothing like those other girls.
And neither is Lizzie. Let her go, Malcolm. She's a grown woman. Let me be the mother she's never had. I promise I'll take good care of her.
You would do that?
Malcolm, you lose her to some man someday. It might as well be to the man she really loves. If someone marries the person they think they should marry, instead of the person they really love, it can lead to years of longing and regret.
Maybe you're right, but just for a few months, 6 at the most.
I'll be sure to tell Cody we need to do another swing through Virginia in the springtime. Folks love to get out after a long winter.
And this will be a very long winter. Goodbye, Miss Winslow. Take good care of my little girl.
As if she were my own.
Did you leave a message for your parents telling how we're going off to be cowgirls and we ain't coming back? No. Why not? I know how to write. Oh. Well, maybe my folks tell your folks. Guess so. Look, Tadpole, there's Annie Oakley and Calamity Jane. Howdy, girls. And Dory Duffin and John Ted.
I never shot nobody, unless they shot at me first.
And
anybody be a fool to shoot at you, Georgie, or at Lily either.
Are you Lillian Smith, the markswoman?
Sure am.
That's right. I'm Emily, trick rabbit. And this here's Dale Farrell. She's pretty good at horse riding, too.
Dale Farrell ain't nobody can ride like her, except me.
You girls, are you thinking about joining the show? You look a little small for this line of work.
Are you a fancy horsewoman too?
No, ma'am, but I got a pony named Snowball.
Snowball? Is he a white pony?
How do you know that?
Girls, I think you might want to reconsider this whole idea of joining the Wild West show. It's a lot tougher than it looks. People think us girls ought to be ashamed for going out and doing a man's job.
And doing it ever bit as good.
That's for sure.
People say it ain't feminine to go out shooting guns and riding horses. Unless you're riding side saddle. Side saddle.
I got on my horse side saddle once, and he was so insulted. He bucked me right off.
You never seen no man riding side saddle.
Yeah.
Why don't they think we can ride just as good as they can? Yeah. Men think they're better, and it just ain't so. You said it.
A woman's just as good as any man. And a cowgirl is the proof that we can do just what they can.
We can roof and we can ride, and if we can clean, we'll tan their hide. 'Cause a woman's just as good as any man. A cowgirl's just as strong as any cuz. She can whoop them in a shooting match and never make a fuss. We can gallop just as fast and really usually come in last. 'Cause a woman's just as good as any man.
I'd like to see a man who can compare and do all the things that we do and do them just as fair.
We can have a kid on Sunday, fight the engines off on Monday, 'cause a woman's just as good as any man.
I'm gonna be a cowgirl just like you. When I grow up, I'll do all the things that all the cowgirls do.
I'll rope the cow and let it go. It's just like a billy goat. A woman's just as good as any
A woman's just as good as any man. And a cowgirl is the proof that we can do just what they can. We can rope and we can ride, and if they complain, we'll stand their hide. A woman's just as good as any man.
What did I tell you, Your Highness? Isn't it the most original show you've ever seen?
Ladies, I'd like to introduce you to two gentlemen who saw yesterday's show and were very impressed with your performances. This is my good friend and His Royal Highness, Grand Duke Alexis.
You're all wunderbar! They're wunderbar!
Your Majesty, may I introduce Miss Annie Oakley, Miss Calamity Jane Cannery, Miss Georgie Duffy, Miss Lillian Smith, Miss Emma Lake, Miss Dale Farrell, and who might you be, young ladies?
My name's Bobby Joe McAllister, and this is Donnell Humphrey. We call her Tadpole, because she's little.
The two young ladies are not official members of the troupe.
I'm pleased to meet you all. I hope you will come to my country soon. We want all of the Wild West show. My countrymen will come by the thousands to see you.
Oh, really? And do you think other members of royalty might enjoy the show?
But of course.
It's just like I told you, Bill. All we gotta do is pack up the whole show, buffaloes and all, and put you on a boat to Europe. The people there have never seen a buffalo or an Indian, and they will love the cowgirl.
They wouldn't think we're strange?
Certainly not. Compared to those Chinese acrobatic girls, you're downright normal.
I think we ought to go, girls. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go!
All right, Mr. Twain, you got a deal. We'll book us a passage to Europe, buffaloes and all.
Twain, you don't mean Mrs. Mark Twain the right?
None other.
I've been telling Bill for years he's done using his audience here in America. You need to go to Europe where you'd be internationally famous. Why, you'd be more than famous. You'd be rich.
Salisbury,
I'll book us a passage on the next ship to Europe.
Atlantic Ocean, get ready. You're about to be crossed by none other than Buffalo Bill's Wild West show.
Go.